Have you ever caught yourself pausing in the middle of your home and suddenly feeling like it doesn't quite feel as safe as it used to? Maybe it's that corner rug that always curls up no matter how many times you fix it, or the stack of old magazines you keep by the armchair, thinking you'll reread them someday, or even the cozy lamp your spouse once loved, now with a frayed cord you keep telling yourself you'll replace. These things may seem small, harmless, even, but over time, little things can quietly become big risks, especially after the age of 65, when our homes should feel like sanctuaries, not obstacle courses. But let me ask you something more personal. When was the last time you walked through your house, not as a place full of memories, but as a space that still needs to protect you? I'm not here to tell you to throw everything out or to make you feel afraid. Quite the opposite. I want to help you see your home with new eyes, with loving, gentle eyes. The kind that protect the version of you today, not the one from 20 years ago. Because here's the truth, your home evolves, and so do you. There's no shame in needing a little more light in the hallway. No failure in choosing a chair that's easier to get out of. And there's certainly no loss in letting go of things that quietly make your life harder, even if they once made it easier. You've lived a full life. That home of yours? It holds pieces of every year, every laugh, every tear, every holiday, where someone left behind a casserole dish and never came back for it. It's a living scrapbook of your journey. But not everything in it still serves the version of you that walks a little slower now, that maybe needs a steadier hand when stepping out of bed. So today, in this video, we're not decluttering your life. We're protecting it. We're going to talk about 7 everyday items. Yes, everyday, seemingly innocent things that could be quietly making your home unsafe after 65. Not because they're bad, but because no one ever taught us to notice them. They don't come with warning labels. No one knocks on your door and says, "Hey, that throw rug you've had since '84? It might be the reason you end up in the emergency room one day. But someone should. And today, that someone is me. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about fear. It's about freedom. Because when you remove things that make life harder, you make room for ease, for safety, for peace of mind. And isn't that what we deserve after a life of working, raising children, paying bills, and showing up for others? I once met a lovely woman, Elaine, who tripped over the same one spot in her carpet for nearly 6 years. She used to joke about it, said it kept her alert. But one day, she caught her foot just the wrong way, and down she went. Broke her hip. And with it, a bit of her spirit too. Not because she was careless, but because we often wait until something goes wrong before we change what's been quietly wrong all along. So today, I invite you to do something bold. I invite you to walk through your home not with judgment or regret, but with love, with curiosity, with a hand on your heart and the simple question, is this still safe for me? Because every item in your home should help you stand taller, not trip you up. It should comfort you, not confuse you. And the only way to make your space truly yours again is to see it as it is today, not as it was yesterday. We'll walk through this together. Gently, kindly, thoughtfully, and maybe by the end, you'll not only have a safer home, but a lighter spirit too. So take a breath. Look around the room you're in right now. That old stool, that dangling lamp cord, that chair that wobbles just a bit when you get up. Don't look at it with guilt. Just ask yourself, is it helping me or quietly hurting me? You might be surprised by what you discover. And as we move forward in this conversation, I'll share stories, examples, and quiet truths that many of us never learned, but that can make all the difference now. Because the truth is, we're never too old to change something that no longer serves us. In fact, maybe this is the perfect time. Let's begin our gentle journey through the home, not to criticize it, but to honor it. To see it not just as the place where we raised children or grew old with someone we loved, but as a space that can be lovingly shaped to meet our needs today. The first item we need to talk about might seem almost laughable. Something so common, so universal, that it's in nearly every home I've ever visited. Throw rugs. Yes. Those charming little area rugs, the ones at the foot of the bed, by the kitchen sink, or tucked underneath the coffee table. The truth is, they often slide, bunch up, or curl at the corners. And while they may tie a room together, they're also one of the top culprits for falls among seniors. A simple shift of the foot, a moment of imbalance, and down you go. Just like that. There's something about getting older that teaches us how precious a moment really is. A moment of standing, a moment of slipping. The space between the two is thinner than we think. You might still have strong legs, a steady gait, maybe even pride yourself on not needing a cane. That's a gift. But even the strongest trees fall. In the wrong storm. Why invite risk into the very place meant to shelter you? I remember visiting my Uncle George when he was in his late 70s. His home was filled with little woven rugs, each one a souvenir from a place he'd once traveled. With his late wife, he refused to move them. They're memories, he said. And I get that. But memories shouldn't come at the cost of mobility. I gently suggested he keep one or two, the ones that mattered most, and have them properly secured with non-slip backing. He agreed. And you know what? He said the place felt lighter. As if removing the rugs wasn't just a physical safety move, it was a way to open new emotional space to. It's not about stripping your home of character. It's about choosing safety over sentiment without losing the story. Now, as we leave the rugs behind, let's step into the bathroom. Bathrooms, so often the place of comfort, can quickly turn into spaces of danger, especially as we age. The second item that often creates risk is something very few people notice until it's too late. Slippery tile and a lack of grab bars. You might say, but I've never had a problem before. And I hear you. But here's what aging gracefully is really about. It's not resisting change. It's anticipating it with wisdom. The tile floor that once cooled your bare feet on a summer morning, that same surface becomes a silent trap when wet. And if your balance isn't what it used to be, or if arthritis has stiffened your knees, the simple act of getting in and out of the tub becomes an ordeal, not a comfort. That's where grab bars come in. Not the cold, institutional kind. These days, they make beautifully designed options that blend right in with your decor. Installing one in the shower or beside the toilet isn't an admission of weakness. It's a declaration of care. For yourself. For your dignity. For the freedom to stay in your own home longer. Safely. I once spoke with a woman named Marlene. She'd had a minor slip in her bathroom but brushed it off. No injuries. Just a bruise on her elbow and a shaken heart. I asked her, gently, if she'd ever considered installing support rails. I'm not ready for that, she said at first. But a week later, she called me. You know what? She whispered. I think being ready means not waiting for the worst. She got them installed that very weekend. And later, she told me, I don't even notice them anymore. But I sleep better just knowing they're there. Sometimes, the greatest act of courage is quietly preparing for the moment that may never come. So now, let's move from the bathroom to the bedroom. Here. The third item on our list hides not in plain sight, but beneath us. It's your mattress height. Strange, isn't it? That something as soft and comforting as a bed could become a risk. But here's the reality. As we age, our ability to rise up or lower down safely becomes more limited. A mattress that's too high forces us to slide down to the floor, risking a fall. One that's too low makes standing up a challenge, requiring momentum that the body doesn't always provide anymore. I've known men and women who struggled each morning just to get out of bed. not because of illness or pain, but because their bed was simply too awkwardly positioned. A small change, a new frame, a mattress adjustment, even a step stool made. All the difference. Comfort is not just about softness. It's about function. A bed should embrace you, not trap you. It should be a launching pad for the day, not a pit that holds you back. And if you live with joint pain, balance issues, or stiffness in your legs or back, the height of your bed isn't just a comfort detail, it's a safety priority. These 3 items, throw rugs, slippery bathrooms without support, and awkward bed heights may not seem dramatic. But together, they form the quiet architecture of risk that so many homes unknowingly carry. But here's the good news, and it's worth saying out loud. These are all fixable things. They don't require renovation, just reflection. And maybe a trip to the hardware store or a conversation with a loved one who's been urging you to just let them help. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to begin. 1 rug, 1 shower, 1 small adjustment in the name of something much bigger. Your continued ability to live freely, safely, and with peace of mind. You deserve that thought, and when we return in the next part, we'll gently move into the heart of the home, the kitchen. The stairs, the little corners where things hide in plain sight, and quietly challenge our balance, our patience, and our safety. But for now, maybe take a moment. Look down at your feet. Ask yourself, is the path beneath me as safe as it could be? The answer might just change your life. Now let's step into the heart of the home, the kitchen. For so many of us, it's where life has always happened. The smell of morning coffee, the sound of a pan sizzling with Sunday eggs, the comfort of baking something just because. But even this familiar place can quietly turn against us with time. And one of the most overlooked dangers lies right at your fingertips. Low cabinets and heavy cookware. You may still enjoy cooking. You may even find peace in preparing your own meals, choosing your own ingredients, taking your time. That's a beautiful thing. But let me ask, when was the last time you reached down to that lowest cabinet to grab your cast iron pot or that old blender? Did your knees creak a little? Did you have to hold onto the counter for balance? It's easy to forget how quickly our joints stiffen as we age. 1 quick bend in the wrong direction, 1 loss of focus, and suddenly you're not holding a pot. You're grabbing the counter in pain. Heavy cookware, especially when stored low, can quietly become a hazard. Not because it's sharp or toxic, but because the effort to reach, lift, and carry it increases strain on joints, shoulders, and the lower back. A weight that felt fine in your 50s can feel like a mountain in your 70s. A friend of mine, Harold, was 78 when he slipped while pulling a baking tray from under the oven. He landed hard. No fracture, thank goodness, but the fall left him bruised and shaken. I never thought it would be that little pan, he told me. But sometimes it's not the object. It's the moment. That split second when control slips through your hands like water. The solution isn't to stop cooking. It's to reorganize with intention. Keep frequently used, heavier items at waist height. Let the things you use most be within reach without bending, without strain. And maybe pass along that bulky old cookware you haven't touched in years. Give it to someone younger who'll love it, while you make room for safety and simplicity. And while we're still in the kitchen, let's look up this time to the overhead storage shelves. Reaching above your head may feel like a stretch, literally. And it's one of the most dangerous motions for older adults, especially those with balance issues or weakened shoulders. Think about that moment, both arms extended, neck tilted back, your center of gravity off. 1 wrong step, and suddenly the shelf isn't the only thing that's falling. The truth is, it's not just about what's stored up there. It's about what you have to do to get to it. A shaky step stool, a slippery sock on the tile, or even just the dizziness that can come from standing up too quickly and looking upward too long. I once knew a woman, Joan, who proudly told me she still climbed a small ladder to reach her top cabinets. "I don't want to feel old," she said. I understood that. But pride doesn't catch you when you fall. Wisdom does. And elderly wisdom teaches us this. Asking for help is not weakness. Rearranging for safety is not giving up. It's growing up. Keep what you love. But let's bring it to eye level. From there, let's make our way to another place we often overlook, not because we don't see it, but because we don't think it could ever be a problem. Cords and wires. The modern home is filled with them behind. The TV, under the desk, near the bed. Chargers, lamps, routers, heaters. Little snakes weaving through the floor. We've grown so used to stepping over them that we forget they're there. Until we don single quotes T.1 small trip on a hidden cord can cause more than just a fall. It can lead to serious injuries, broken hips, fractured wrists, or worse. And all because of something as simple as forgetting to tape it down or tuck it away. When I visited my neighbor Ruth, she had extension cords running across the living room like tiny rivers. "I just don't know where else to put them," she told me. So we sat down together and took inventory. We realized that by moving just one lamp and unplugging one unused device, we removed 3 cords from her walking path. That's 3 fewer chances to stumble. 3 fewer risks hanging quietly in her daily routine. Sometimes we don't need more products. We just need more attention. A willingness to see the familiar as it truly is, not how it used to be, but how it is now. It's about reclaiming control over your surroundings. It's about making space for peace. And perhaps most importantly, it's about protecting the life you've worked so hard to build, not just by locking the doors at night, but by walking through your home with open eyes in the daylight. Let's not forget, this isn't about fear. It's about healthy aging. It's about choosing small changes that make a big difference. It's about preserving your independence by removing the very things that quietly threaten it. Your home should be your ally, not your adversary. So today, if there's a pan that feels too heavy, move it. If there's a shelf that makes your shoulders ache, rehome it. If there's a cord you keep stepping over, tape it, hide it, or eliminate it. You don't need to do it all in one day, but you deserve a home that grows with you, not against you. And the beautiful part is, these changes don't erase the soul of your space. They honor it. Because a home that adapts with you is a home that truly loves you back. In the next stretch of our journey, we'll visit 2 more spaces. One that holds quiet danger when the power goes out, and one that seems innocent but can drain your energy without you even realizing it. But for now, take a quiet moment. Sit in your favorite chair. Look around, not with worry, but with wisdom. The kind of wisdom that comes from a life well lived, and a heart still learning, still growing, still choosing what's best for tomorrow. Let's continue our quiet walk through the home with eyes soft but open. Sometimes the most dangerous things aren't loud or sharp. They're quiet, familiar, the very things we forget to question. That brings us to the 6th item. It lives in almost every room, often beautiful, sometimes sentimental, but surprisingly risky after a certain age. Dim lighting. Think about your hallway at night, your bathroom at 3 a.m., the narrow space between your bedroom and the kitchen when you need a glass of water or medicine. Now ask yourself, could you see every step clearly? One of the quietest threats to senior health is poor lighting. It steals your depth perception. It blurs edges. It creates shadows where none should be. And when your eyesight isn't what it once was, when balance becomes a little more delicate, even a single dark patch of floor can be enough to disorient you. It's not that we become weak with age. It's that we become more dependent on what surrounds us to keep us steady. And light, good, strong, warm light is one of the most powerful protectors we can have. I remember talking to Thomas, a retired school teacher who prided himself on never needing a nightlight. "I know my home like the back of my hand," he said. But one night, he tripped over his cat's tail in the hallway. It wasn't the cat's fault. It wasn't really his either. It was the dark. After that, he installed motion sensor lights along the floorboard of his hallways. Just soft, ambient lights, not glaring or cold. And he said something that stayed with me since. "It's not just light for my eyes. It's peace of mind for my steps." That's elderly wisdom. It's the willingness to adapt, to protect our future self from things our younger selves never had to worry about. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to rewire your home. There are inexpensive, easy-to-install options. LED strips under cabinets, clip-on reading lights, battery-powered night lights that flick on at the slightest movement. Let there be light, not just for decoration, but for your safety, for your dignity, because nothing should ever come between you and confidence in your own home. And now, we reach the seventh and final item on our list, something many don't even think of as dangerous. Old, unused furniture. Yes, that corner chair, no. One has sat in for years. That table you squeeze around every morning. The rocking chair in the hallway that blocks just enough space to make it hard to carry your laundry basket or move your walker. These aren't just relics of your past. When left unchecked, they become quiet obstacles in the present. As we age, clear space becomes more valuable than ever. We don't need more things. We need more room to move safely, to breathe freely, to turn without bumping into a sharp corner or catching our sleeve on a drawer handle. And yet, so many of us hold on to old furniture because it reminds us of someone, or because it feels wrong to let go, or because we think, well, it's not in the way. But here's the question I gently ask you. Not in the way? For whom? For the younger version of you? Or the one you are now, the wiser, slightly slower, but just as deserving version of you? Healthy aging isn't just about taking vitamins or walking laps around the block. It's about recognizing what no longer serves your daily life, and having the courage to release it. When I visited Margaret, a widow in her 80s, she had 3 small tables crowded around her living room. They were gifts, she explained, and I didn't want to seem ungrateful. But every time she vacuumed, every time her grandchild ran through the room, she winced. She knew they were in the way. She just didn't want to admit it. We sat together, talked it through. She chose to keep one, her favorite, the one with the little floral carving on the legs. The others, she donated them. And her living room? It opened up. It breathed. Sometimes, removing things from our space is the same as removing a weight from our hearts. And if you ever feel unsure, ask yourself this. If I had to explain to someone why I kept this, what would I say? If the answer is rooted in love, fine. But if the answer is guilt, maybe it's time to let it go. Because letting go doesn't erase the memory. It makes space for new ones. So there you have it. 7 everyday items that may not scream danger, but whisper it just the same. Rugs that trip, bathrooms that slip, beds that strain, kitchens that pull, cords that tangle, shadows that hide, furniture that crowds. And yet, every single one of them can be changed with thought, with grace, with intention. That's elderly wisdom. Not being afraid of getting older, but being bold enough to grow smarter with it. Your home is your sanctuary, your safe haven. And with just a few gentle choices, it can become even safer, even kinder to the body you live in now, even more welcoming to the soul that's still full of light, full of stories, full of quiet power. There is no shame in making life easier. There is only strength in choosing it. So tonight, after this video ends, don't rush, but maybe look around with softer eyes and ask the question, is this helping me live better or just holding me back? Even one yes can change everything. You've made it this far with me. And for that, I want to say thank you. Thank you for walking through these quiet corners of the home, not just with your eyes, but with your heart. It's not always easy to face change, especially in a place that holds so many of your memories, your milestones, your quiet mornings, and the voices of loved ones who may no longer be here. But choosing safety isn't about saying goodbye to the past. It's about honoring the future, your future. You see, growing older isn't a decline. It's a deeper unfolding of wisdom, of truth, of self-respect. When you take the time to move a rug, install a light, or let go of a chair that no longer serves you, you're not losing something. You're gaining something far more precious, peace of mind. And with it comes freedom. The kind of freedom that allows you to wake up without fear, to move through your space with grace, to enjoy your days on your terms. There is strength in noticing what others overlook. There is dignity in protecting your daily life with quiet choices. That is elderly wisdom. It doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. But it always matters. If you've listened to this message and found even one idea helpful, I hope you'll consider sharing it with someone you love, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, maybe even your own future self, because sometimes the smallest change in the home leads to the biggest shift in the heart. If you're still here, I want you to know something. You matter. Your safety matters. Your comfort matters. And you are not alone. We're building a space here where voices like yours are heard, where aging is not something to be feared but embraced, with wisdom, with joy, with the quiet pride of having lived a life that still has more to give. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need a gentle nudge toward a safer, freer home. And if you're living alone or feeling a little forgotten, know that you're not. We're here, with stories, with care, with quiet companionship, day after day. Until next time, may your steps be steady, your heart be light, and your home always feel like a place that holds you exactly as you are. Take care, and we'll meet again, right here,